New studies out today that draw the same disturbing conclusion. Americans are not winning their battle against obesity.
Hi, could I please have a number one?
What drink?
A Sprite, please.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank
you.
Chestnut. Will he secure not his second, not his third, not his fourth, not his fifth, but his sixth unprecedented leading title? You got it. 59 dogs are down now. 1:15 to go.
Y'all to just take a look. Look at all the butter in this kitchen. I've probably got about 4 pounds of butter.
I try to cook at least every day of the week. You're gonna step so you can help me. The deer aren't migrating like they used to be, and so nobody's hit a deer with their car, and we've not been called out to a deer call.
It's been a while since I didn't have roadkill in my belly. What is this?
It's for the skitty.
Ooh, hot.
That has high fructose corn syrup in it. And? You know what they say about it?
Like what?
I could drink a 2 liter a day.
So 2 liters a day of Mountain Dew is how many calories, do you know?
No idea, I never had to think about it.
Quick and easy and cheap. And also tastes good.
It's really cheap and it tastes good.
It's cheap and it's an easy way to get food.
It's really easy to get, it's quick, it's cheap, and people think it tastes good.
It is cheap and it tastes very good.
Really cheap.
It's very cheap and easy and it tastes good.
McDonald's started in 1955 with 9 restaurants. Today, they have 31,000 of them. Add to that Burger King's 12,000 and Wendy's 6,650, and you have an astounding number of stores, with one near you. Because of this, McDonald's alone serves 52 million every day. That's 1 in 6 Americans every day, and 18 billion people every year.
According to experts, almost 2/3 of American adults are seriously overweight or obese. That's a 150% increase in just the last 30 years.
Because this new study published today in the Journal of Adolescent Youth looked at more than 6,000 middle school children across the nation and found that nearly 7% are not obese, but severely obese, in the 99th percentile for weight, which means the problem is worse than believed.
The first snapshot of teenage health in 2 decades paints a worrying picture, with 1 in 4 youngsters overweight or obese, and few eating enough fruits and vegetables.
I need you to know that this is going to kill your children early. Yeah, we're talking about 10, 13, 14 years off their life.
The numbers don't lie. From 1976 to 1980, the CDC examined the childhood obesity rates in 3 key age groups. And back then, the numbers weren't all that bad, 5%, 6.5%, and 5% respectively. But move the clock forward about a quarter century and look at what happens. More than 12% of the youngest children are now obese, 17% of 6 to 11-year-olds are, and among teenagers, it's even higher.
There's no denying that childhood obesity is an epidemic.
About 75% of obese teenagers will become obese adults, and the issue there is that they'll be more prone to chronic diseases.
We have to figure out what we can all do together in this country to help our kids in the country live healthy and active lives and to stay that way throughout your entire lives. Too many kids right now just aren't living that way, and we all know that. Too many kids in this country don't get enough exercise and they aren't as healthy as they need to be.
Something else needs to be done. A heavier hand probably on the part of the government. I've been talking to public health experts who say, look, if you really want to fight obesity, if you really want to get people to, well, do the right thing, you need to crack down. I'm all in favor of personal choice. I'm all in favor of personal responsibility, but it's not working.
The government can put taxes on these fast foods so that people won't buy them and eat them as much.
The government should mandate that food comes in smaller portions. The government should make healthy options cheaper.
I think that the government should make healthier options cheaper so that it'd be easier for people to get them.
The government can stop subsidizing wheat and soy crops and GMOs so that people can afford, and then subsidize fresh fruit and fresh vegetables so that people can actually afford them.
The government should make it harder for people to get unhealthy food while on food stamps.
Government should tax fatty foods.
The government should mandate that schools should educate their children on healthy eating and healthy eating habits.
A better consumer that's educated about what's healthy is your best bet.
And we all know that when our kids don't eat right and they don't get enough exercise, what happens is that they're at greater risk of a whole range of preventable diseases, things like diabetes. And a long time ago, diabetes was also only something that happened in adults, and now we're seeing it more and more among kids because they're less healthy. Things like heart disease and cancer, all these things should be older folks' issues, but we're seeing more and more of our children, struggling with these issues. And what the governor will tell you is that one of the other problems is that these preventable issues cost the state money. You know, here in the state of Mississippi, I think you're spending about $750 million each year to treat diseases that don't even have to exist.
Collaboration across borders among national and local governments and agencies is also critical. The challenges before us are too vast and complex for individual governments to overcome alone. But fourth and finally, while government action is not sufficient alone, it is nevertheless absolutely essential. There are powers only governments can exercise, policies only governments can mandate and enforce, and results only governments can achieve. To halt the worldwide epidemic of non-communicable diseases, Governments at all levels must make healthy solutions the default social option. That is, ultimately, government's highest duty.
People have gotten an important wake-up call. They're looking at the health statistics, they're looking at you guys, and they're seeing the future in you, and we all know that we've got to do something. Finally, we're waking up and we're getting moving, right?